I was invited by the editor of the TIA website to write more about the possibility of having not one, but two sister LUCYS, a question I raised in another article. Because of misinformation regarding one of the photos I used in the article, I am returning to the topic in order to defend that the hypothesis remains valid. I had no idea that raising the possibility of having two sister LUCYS would ignite the huge controversy that is still spreading like wildfire. Independent of any other conclusion, this simple fact seems to show how many Catholics are suspicious of whatever comes from the top regarding Fatima. For them, Fatima is not a finished story, as some ecclesiastical authorities have pretended. It is still alive, very much alive. It is a curious reaction that I note in passing and leave for whoever wants to analyze it. This controversy brought many new plates to the table, historical data that had been forgotten regarding Sister Lucy, observations about her features and psychology that enriched the picture, as well as many photos I had never seen before. Set 1 shows a close-up of Sister Lucy 1 slightly smiling. The photo is undated, but she wears the habit of a Dorothean sister and appears to be in her late 30s. At most, she is 41, since she was born in 1907 and entered the Carmel in 1948. The close-up of Sister Lucy 2, also slightly smiling, is a photo dated May 13, 1982, so she would be age 75. There are many points of difference in the features that indicate to me we are looking at two different people. The natural line of the thick, heavy eyebrows of Sister Lucy 1 is straight, photo 1A. The brows extend into the forehead area above her nose and past the inner corner of her eyes. The brows of Sister Lucy 2, partially concealed by the dark frames of her glasses, are not straight, but slightly arched and taper off. The arch begins directly over the eye. There is a broad space without brows above the nose between the two eyebrows. Some readers objected that eyebrows thin with age on some people, which would explain the clear difference between the brows. I do not believe this is necessarily so. Even if this were admitted, without surgery or some artificial means, the shape of one's brows does not change from a straight line to an arched one, because the shape of the brows follow the shape of the bone structure of the forehead. Regarding the focus of the eyes of Sister Lucy 1, they seem normal with a small tendency toward exotropia, or divergent strabismus, that is, the eyes slightly drift outward. However, the eyes of Sister Lucy 2 clearly suffer from estropia, or convergent strabismus, that is, the eyes strongly turn in toward the nose. When Sister Lucy 1 smiles, her upper cheeks appear like two small round apples. Although the cheeks of Sister Lucy 2 are partially covered by her large glasses, it seems clear she lacks these bulges. I could not find any photo of Sister Lucy 1 smiling or serious, with her nostrils open. They do not flare naturally. All the photos of Sister Lucy 2, however, show her with her nostrils flaring. They open naturally. Under the apple cheeks of Sister Lucy 1 are definite dimple creases. William Thomas Walsh mentions, quote, the little dimples that creased her cheeks when she smiled, unquote, in his description of her in his well-known book, Our Lady of Fatima. But the cheeks of Sister Lucy 2 are flat and broad, with no creases or dimples when she smiles. In his description of Sister Lucy, Walsh also notes her protruding upper lip and heavy lower one that hangs. The two lips have different widths. The lips of Sister Lucy 2, however, are flat, thin, tight, and of an equal width. Objectors argued that a possible denture would explain the different teeth of the two LUCYS. I will treat the teeth as a special topic below in Set 4. Here I will simply discuss the effect of the teeth on the lips of these two photos. If a person has large lips to cover long teeth, as Sister Lucy 1 evidently had when she was young, then if someone replaced her long teeth with short ones, the lips of this person should easily cover these, now much smaller teeth. So, we should have photos of an older Sister Lucy with lips more than sufficient to cover her smaller teeth. But the opposite happens. Sister Lucy 2's lips do not normally cover her much smaller teeth. When Sister Lucy 1 smiles, the ends of her mouth point upward, but when Sister Lucy 2 smiles, the ends of her mouth point downward. Another distinguishing feature of Lucy as a child that can be seen in her photos up to age 40 is a protuberant muscle in the middle of her chin, pronounced enough to form a dimpled area underneath. But this muscle never appears in the photos of Sister Lucy 2. Sister Lucy 1's chin is strong, but not salient. On the contrary, the chin of Sister Lucy 2 is a prominent chin. The latter has a square jaw, which does not appear in the photos of Sister Lucy 1. 2. The profiles of the two Lucys. The profile picture of Sister Lucy 1 was taken May 22, 1946, in the Chapel of the Apparitions at Fatima. Sister Lucia 2 is seated next to the tomb of Francisco at Fatima on May 13, 2000. Their heads are in very similar positions. They are staring straight forward, and both have expressions of meditation or prayer. Although the face of Sister Lucy 1 is shadowed, the profile of her nose is very clear. It aptly fits the description of Walsh, who noted that, quote, the tip of her snub nose turned up, unquote. However, the nose of Sister Lucy 2 is rounded at the tip, pointing slightly downward. The different shapes of the noses can be measured by the angle formed by the intersection of the line of the nose with the space above the upper lip. In Sister Lucy 1, the angle formed by these lines is an obtuse angle. On the contrary, the angle of these lines in Sister Lucy 2 is an acute angle. One can also note in this profile close-up of Sister Lucy 2 how arched the brows are, confirming the previous observations. The chin of Sister Lucy 1, even though she is younger and not overweight, recedes sharply into her neck, with the tendency to disappear into a double chin. However, the chin of Sister Lucy 2, although she is older and heavier, juts forward and outward. It is so prominent that it forms a kind of platform extending out further than her nose. It is lantern-shaped, as one of my readers so aptly described it. 3. The large smile of the LUCYS. Set 3 of photos, both undated, shows the two Sister Lucys with broad smiles. I have already analyzed these pictures in my previous article, so I will repeat only the essential points and make some new observations. In photo 3A, one notes the heavy, straight eyebrows that project forward on the forehead of Sister Lucy 1. The arching eyebrows of Sister Lucy 2 are lighter, and the forehead is flat where it meets the eyebrows. In photo 3B, when Sister Lucy 1 smiles, the shape of her mouth forms a U with the edges pointing upward. When Sister Lucy 2 smiles, the edges of the lips point downward in the form of an upside-down U. Even when she smiles broadly, the lower lip of Sister Lucy 1 is thick, heavy, and still a bit slack. When Sister Lucy 2 smiles, her lower lip is thin and tight. The dimple and creases of Sister Lucy 1 appear again in this smile, but they are completely missing on the smooth cheeks of Sister Lucy 2. The nose of Sister Lucy 2 has marked nostrils that do not show on Sister Lucy 1's nose. The round tip of Sister Lucy 2's nose extends downward, but the angular tip of Sister Lucy 1's nose extends upward. The teeth of Sister Lucy 1 are clearly different, but since many readers pointed out the possibility that dentures would explain these differences, I will discuss this below in set 4 of photos. The lower face of Sister Lucy 1, photo 3C, is moon-shaped, narrowing at the bottom with the strong chin sinking into the neck. The base of her face is oval, but the shape of the lower face of Sister Lucy 2 is square, with her long chin extending outward.